In any workplace, good standards for health and safety should prevail, and even more so on board a ship, where one encounters workplaces involving a wide range of tasks, often undertaken in geographical isolation, demanding specialized skills, awareness, and a planned approach. All new personnel joining a ship must undergo a safety induction procedure conducted by a responsible officer, which must, at bare minimum, cover the requirements as stipulated by the STCW code. This should include a clear explanation of the vessel's alarm signals, emergency muster stations, boat stations, and emergency drill requirements. On completion of the safety induction, the new personnel must also receive departmental induction procedures outlining safe working practices, areas of responsibility, standing orders, and necessary training required to operate specific machinery and appliances. HSEQ: Health, Safety, Environment, and Quality Management Systems. Each company will have its own HSEQ management system framework, commonly referred to as the Quality Management System. A company's HSEQ expectations will broadly outline the requirements for the effective management of safety and accident prevention, pollution prevention, energy conservation, personal, occupational and environmental health, personal security. Good HSEQ performance can normally be achieved by making crew members aware that safety of shipmates depends on the action of the individual, designating responsibilities amongst crew members to identify areas which pose potential safety hazards and ensure that the necessary corrective measures are taken by reducing emissions and discharges and using energy efficiently. This would also imply a close monitoring on waste produced and managed. The Risk Assessment Principle. Personal protective equipment does not reduce the hazard, but only provides a barrier against it. The effectiveness of the barrier is lost if the personal protective equipment is used incorrectly or is of the wrong kind. Head protection. Safety helmets are used as protection against falling objects, sideway blows, and crushing situations. It is essential that the chin strap is properly adjusted to hold the helmet in place. In the event of a fall, the used helmet should be discarded. Ear protection. Ear muffs and ear plugs provide adequate protection to the ship's crew against exposure to high noise levels in areas like engine room, pump room, and whilst operating machinery. Face and eye protection. The most common eye injuries on board the ship are caused due to exposure to flying particles and dust generated during grinding, chipping, and similar activities. Safety goggles provide ample protection against these hazards. Notices to this effect should be displayed at respective work areas. Special chemical resistance shields and goggles are used against exposure to chemicals and volatile substances, and protective shields are used during electric arc and gas welding. Respiratory protective equipment. Respirators and breathing apparatus are essential for protection when work is to be carried out in toxic or oxygen-deficient atmospheres. The air purifying respirator consists of a mask to which filters, canisters, or cartridges are attached. Each cartridge is designed for a specific gas and filters the toxic gas from the air, but cannot be used in an oxygen-deficient atmosphere. Breathing apparatus like the self-contained breathing apparatus SCBA supply air from an uncontaminated source. If in doubt, always use the breathing apparatus. Hand protection. Injury to the hand is another common hazard, and the type of hand protection to be used will depend upon the type of work undertaken or the object being handled. Leather gloves are used during routine maintenance work on board, whilst chemical-resistant gloves are used for handling chemicals, acids, and other harmful substances. Special gloves must be utilized while welding or undertaking other hot work procedures. Foot protection. Casual footwear offers little protection on board a ship's working environment. Proper industrial footwear with slip-resistant soles and reinforced toe caps must always be used to minimize foot injury. Body protection. Clean and properly fitting attire ensure comfort and hygiene in normal working conditions. In cold climates, the body should be well protected to avoid hypothermia.